Hey everybody, we are the 8-Bit Upstarts, and we want to welcome you to this edition of our podcast. Uh, as always, I'll start with introducing myself. My name's Nate,
I'm Tommy.
and basically, just the quick premise of this: we're just, I don't know, we're just two guys that just like talk about video games. That's literally it.
Yep, two dudes talking about video games.
And we hope that you'll enjoy what we talk about. Maybe you share some interest, same interest in the game, same games that we like, or not even that. Like maybe you just like different games that we don't even know about. We
and if
always
you
look
do,
to find.
tell us.
Please tell us. We're always looking.
Is
for
this
great
officially
new
our
games.
First episode now? Is this what we're rolling with?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No, we've
I
never.
mean-
We've done so many episodes before.
Yeah. We've done so many practice episodes. It's just not in the budget, man.
Where's that key grip?
Yeah, right. Yeah, where is that key grip? That's my cat.
Oh,
He's got like a little belt on too, with a utility belt. Yay!
production manager.
Yep. Oh, he's sleeping on the job. So all right. So that's the intro to the podcast. What do you
Yep.
guys think? Is it good? Yeah.
Yep,
Think so?
perfect.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, so we're gonna try to just do this. We're trying to keep this really casual. We're not. I don't know. We don't have
Professionals.
Yeah. That's it. We don't know what we're doing.
No, we
but-
just like talking video games.
Yeah. So we'll kick off with just like what are you playing, Tommy? What are you doing? Like, how you been? How's it going? What have you been playing?
It's going good. I have been still trying to finish up Tears of the Kingdom. Last time we talked, I had taken a little bit of a break from it, mostly because life and work, but I haven't quite finished it yet. I've done a whole bunch of the game, and now I'm just kind of putting off killing Ganon just to go do not everything. I'm not 100% completion kind of person, especially with those Korok seeds. They're being 900 or something, and I'm like, nope, not even gonna get a fraction of that. So I've just been playing that just to slowly start getting close to beating that. And then I my wife and I bought Mortal Kombat 11. I know Mortal Kombat 1's coming out soon, but we played 11 recently, and then she was like, I want to buy it. So then we got it, and she's just been kicking my ass in it just constantly. She is some sort of savant with fighting games, specifically Mortal Kombat. So that's what I've been doing recently is really just those two, and just sort of waiting out Baldur's Gate 3, which is next month, and then Starfield, which is the following month.
Starfield. What's that one? I'm not familiar.
Oh, it's this small indie game that's coming out.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't heard of it. But actually, I want to go back to what you were just talking about with Mortal Kombat. So I play a lot of fighting games, and I'm not bad. I'm not great, but I can hold my own. But
Do you use a controller, or do you have
I
an
just
actual
use a controller.
fighting?
I have a buddy
Okay.
that uses the actual the joypad, and he gets into it. So
Yeah.
that's he's all about it. He's the guy that studies the frame data and all of the plus and minuses on moves. I'm just cool, fireball.
Yeah, I struggle enough knowing combinations, and even when you get to the end and it's all right, finish him and trying to do a fatality, and I'm I go pull up the moves list and I'm okay, left, right, down, up, B, and I do it and I just slap him in the face and then he falls over, and I'm
Yeah.
that wasn't right.
Well, so what I wanted to kind of what you said, the point I wanted to make is that it feels I don't know about other games, but it feels with fighting games, there are so many people I feel that just can pick it up and just be like you said, a savant. It's just I have people that I play against that never play, but will still take me to like the final like bit of health bar. You know, it's like even button mashing can get you far in fighting games. It feels like.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm not talking like on a like pro level or like
for sure
esport, but like just like playing against somebody. It's like I had a buddy who, speaking of Mortal Kombat, we played Mortal Kombat. He's the guy that like drops like the 10 hit combos, or you know, that juggles you across the screen and throws you into the wall. But he lost to this other friend of mine who just spammed Sub-Zero's like ice attack.
Oh,
and slide. That's it. Like he just did those two moves. And he beat him because he just like, it's like, I can't do anything against this.
I think there's something to say about like cheesing the game like that, like where you play someone who's so good and you do something so stupid that like even if you're super good at a game, you're not prepared to bring it down to that level.
I guess that's really the main point. It's just like, I don't know. It's funny how it just works with fighting games that it can be frustrating if you're like I can totally get it. You could be totally frustrating if you're like good, like legitimately good, and someone's just like cheesing Hadoken or Scorpion's harpoon, and you're just like, I can't do anything.
Sorry.
Oh. Is that the production manager?
My dog has really intense opinions about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I was gonna say your production manager is barking orders.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I don't know if it's something that's like really kind I don't want to say unique to fighting games, but the environment of it allows for, I guess, those out of nowhere like victories for the less experienced player.
Yeah, and what's kind of interesting too is like that is Mortal Kombat's the only, like, I don't want to say the only, but like one of the few video games that I know my wife had played before we even met. Like when she was in high school, her friends bought her a 360 and whatever Mortal Kombat was out at that point, because like when she'd been playing when they were all hanging out, like she would just like kick everyone's ass. So then they like for like Christmas or whatever, they all like bought her that, and you know, then she had Mortal Kombat, and so like she has experience with this, but she doesn't play it like as much as I play any other video game, and she's still just like, and it's so interesting too, because like I haven't played a lot of Mortal Kombat's. Like I remember playing it like on the arcade back when I was a kid. Like I think that would have been like 2, or like at whatever pizza place, and I never really was big into fighting games, so I never played Mortal Kombat much after that. But we had bought whatever one came out on the Xbox One and like that generation. I don't remember if that was like 8 or something, and we didn't play it that much. But then when we played 11, we were both like, this feels, and I don't know if this is like a common thing in you know, the fighting game, which you're much more in that scene, so maybe you can tell me, but we both feel like Mortal Kombat 11 feels very like fluid, and it's just like a really nice playing Mortal Kombat. And I don't know if that's like good or bad.
For me, like 11 was the one that, because I took a break from playing Mortal Kombat for a very long time, and 11 was the one that I came back to, and it is my favorite so far.
Oh, cool.
And because just like out of sheer, like it like you said, it is very fluid. It's smooth. It's I don't want to say it's like it's as balanced as you could probably expect. You know, there are some, I feel like DLC characters get a little bump in ability.
I didn't know that one, because when we played it at this like birthday party, it didn't have all the characters unlocked. But then I bought 11 was on the Steam summer sale for $5, so we were like, yeah, definitely. I mean, I know one, like I said, is coming out next month, and I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on that, and especially after it drops, because I'm sure you're going to get it. Yeah, so I'll be interested to hear how that goes. But when we booted up the game for the first time and I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo, and then RoboCop and the Joker, and I was like, what? Like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. I had trouble, like, I wasn't good with Spawn. Spawn was the one I was good at.
Oh, Spawn, yeah, he's in there too.
Yeah, he's fun to play, but my main go-to characters are Jax and oh my gosh, I haven't played this in a while, so I'm trying to remember. Oh, and Shao Kahn. Those are like my two go-tos, but I tried dabbling with the DLC characters, and it's just weird to play like RoboCop in that environment, like with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I never thought I'd, 10 years ago, you say, hey, there's a fighting game coming out where you get to play the Joker versus RoboCop, and I'm like, you're insane.
Yeah.
And but I guess that's the new normal now with like Mortal Kombat,
Yeah, like all these like interesting, like, or seemingly random characters. Although it was interesting,
whichever ones they had
like,
the rights to, I should say.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They got the Joker, but not Batman. But I guess Batman wouldn't really be in Mortal Kombat if you think of like canon. Like the Joker does make more sense.
Well, that's funny you bring that up. I think I heard that, like, because how they have Injustice.
Oh, yeah.
But they're really. And now I don't know if this is accurate, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard or read somewhere that you won't see a lot of like DC characters, especially like the big ones, in Mortal Kombat because they don't, like, DC doesn't want their characters to be like fate, like you doing fatalities on Batman.
Oh.
Like in Injustice, it's like in Injustice, there's like no blood and gore. It's just pretty. It's pretty PG. Like, but
Super Smash Brothers.
yeah, exactly. But you take like Wonder Woman, throw her into Mortal Kombat, and then all of a sudden you got a guy that's just like ripping your guts out, and people and like they don't like want to see that with their like
their IP,
most popular characters in the world. So. But
that makes sense.
It's. I mean, I'm okay. That's not a universe I really need to collide.
Yeah.
Although, like Mortal Kombat and.
Yeah, it does feel. It does feel like if like the Suicide Squad made it into more like those characters, like all the enemies.
Yeah, there are characters.
It makes sense.
Like Joker. I mean, Joker would make sense,
right?
But it's not something I need. I like random like movie characters show up, like Rambo, and
Rambo was the most ridiculous. Like for some reason, the Terminator and RoboCop. I'm like, I guess like somehow I can justify that because like they're both technically like robots,
right?
But Rambo is just Rambo. Like he doesn't feel like he fits in, but also I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to try it. I'm going to fight him as him at some point. So I don't know. I've definitely had a lot of fun playing it, even though I just constantly get my ass kicked just the whole time. But it's just been a lot of fun just to play it because it's the first Mortal Kombat I played in years, and it doesn't feel like, as much as I don't know what I'm doing, I feel like I'm actually competing instead of just because like that one we played before, it was just I didn't even have a chance, where this time I feel like once you get the matchups and you kind of learn a character, I feel like okay, I can compete a little bit. Yeah,
once you kind of figure out, because every character has like those little 2-3 combo moves that you can do. But no, I totally agree with that. I mean, that's how I was when I first picked up Mortal Kombat 11 again. And so, but I'm really stoked for MK1. This is kind of like something I wanted to talk about as well, is like this is just a really good time for fighting games in general. Street Fighter 6 just dropped, which is awesome. I love it. You've got Mortal Kombat 1 coming out, And then there's I believe, the new Tekken game is coming out soon as well. So
okay, so question.
Answer.
Those are like the three big.
For me, those are the big three.
The big three.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite? And I guess it's kind of two questions. Out of all of those games, is there a game that's your favorite? And out of those three franchises, which one of those franchises is your favorite?
As far as franchise goes, I'm probably gonna roll with Mortal Kombat. That was my first fighting game ever. Mm-hmm. So that holds like a special place.
There's nothing cooler than as a child watching someone's spine get ripped out in a video game.
Hey, well that was it. It was like this is the cool game because your parents don't want you to play it because it's like all like gory and stuff. So it's just like I'm a badass. I'm like a cool kid.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Me either.
But so as far as franchise goes, excuse me, Mortal Kombat is definitely probably my favorite. But I will say that Street Fighter is catching up because I've actually been getting good at it. I love Street Fighter 6 is for this round of editions of fighting games. They're the first ones of the big three to drop. So maybe it's just recency bias. But I'm really, really enjoying playing Street Fighter 6. The characters are interesting. The fighting system, it's a little different than Street Fighter 5. But it's still pretty fluid. And it rewards you for hitting your combos, which I do not do very well. That's why I mainly play characters that don't have like big long combos.
Yeah.
But Tekken's kind of like I like Tekken. I played a lot of Tekken, especially back in like the early 2000s or so. But again, like I kind of took a break from fighting games for a while, and now I'm kind of like jumping back in, and I'm playing like 5 different fighting games like right now. It's crazy because there's so many good ones. There's like we got Street Fighter 6, we got Mortal Kombat, we got Tekken. I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive. There's Grand Blue Fantasy versus what else am I playing?
It does feel like a lot of like franchises that don't normally have fighting games are now either like in a fighting game or like the franchise comes out with the fighting game.
Yeah,
like you said, the Versus one, isn't there a Final Fantasy Versus?
Yes.
Like where like they have their own fighting game now too.
Yeah, I don't remember when the most recent one came out, but yeah, they had their own for a bit, at least a period of time. I'm not sure if they're still making that one or not, but like it's just a really good time for fighting games right now. I can't recommend them enough. So
I can't say that I'm ever gonna get super into fighting games, but we'll see how Mortal Kombat goes. Maybe we'll end up getting Mortal Kombat 1.
And if I can't remember if Mortal Kombat 11 had crossplay.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. And
if it doesn't, I don't know if one will, because crossplay's been making a really big push lately. Like Street Fighter 6 is crossplay, Diablo 4 is crossplay. So I only say that because those are the games I'm playing that we've been able to bring in buddies that are playing on like PS5 and we're playing on computer.
So looking it up, it looks like crossplay is only between like PlayStation and Xbox. So Switch is out, and then it's only between Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So or PC bought on the Microsoft Store. So I bought it on Steam, so I can't play with you, which is like I really wish we could get to that point with every game.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's going to get better or worse with like all these exclusivity deals that studios are making right now.
I am very much on the cynical side and thinking it's only going to get worse. I think Xbox, well, and like what's even more frustrating is like there are two versions of PC, right? There's Steam and then there's the Microsoft Store. And it's like Microsoft's doing a quote unquote good job of like doing crossplay between, like with Mortal Kombat, like you can play Xbox and PC if you bought the game through the Microsoft Store. Well, the problem is the Microsoft Store is garbage, and Steam, like for having a monopoly on the game distribution level of for PC, Steam is really good at pretty much most things that it does. And so it's really frustrating to be like, I own the game on PC, but I still can't play it with the other thing that's built by who made my PC. Right? Like I can't even play it with other Xbox players or like with Xbox players.
It's hold out hope.
And I mean,
that's all I can do.
Yeah, well, and I don't know that that's, and I mean, you kind of go and take that issue and kind of add that to what happened with Starfield. As excited as I am for Starfield, like the exclusivity deal with Bethesda and Microsoft, and they're basically like, sorry, PlayStation owners, and I feel like that is really big slap in the face to a lot of their fan base.
Yeah, because especially coming from being, available across
on
the
everything
board, like before the acquisition. Yeah, it's just buying up Bethesda. Not great, but then the people are going to come in and say it's like, well, but Sony does it too, and yeah, Sony does do it too.
Yeah,
maybe not to quite the extent that Microsoft has. Microsoft seems like they've really kicked it up a notch, and like in terms of acquiring
Activision Blizzard right now.
Yeah,
working
exactly. On it. But like also like look at like the Final Fantasy. The new Final Fantasy dropped, and it's only exclusive to PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah,
and like. How many people are like just not going to be able to play it right now?
Right.
Well, so
yeah, and I like what you were saying. Like Sony's been doing it too, and I think like that's the problem. Is like they're all I want to say this, but I don't have enough knowledge to like really make a hard statement on this. But like a Sony or a Microsoft buying or acquiring a smaller like publisher, I can kind of see, maybe, but like these big publishers merging, or like someone like Microsoft buying Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, who that was a big, I don't like that either. The fact that Activision and Blizzard combined into one company, like it's all going to be owned by like two companies, and
right, exactly.
That's just, it's going to be really hard for
like
an indie game to break through.
I'm actually okay with like you said, the buying up of smaller indie studios, as long I feel like usually that you only works out like, yeah, you get access as a small indie studio, you get access to the resources of the like Sony or Microsoft, but then you also have to worry about like meddling, which it's like you want to let the indie studio be the indie studio, but you want to give them
that's
also
why you bought
the tools they need. Yeah, exactly. So I always feel like it's ridiculous, and this isn't even just exclusive to like the gaming industry. It's just kind of the way
everything.
It is that it's just like, oh, we love what you're doing, we're gonna buy you, and then we're gonna change everything,
change everything about you,
and it's gonna work.
Yeah, right. I don't like the fact that there are very few or no longer, or soon be like no longer any big third-party publishers, because that's what Activision Blizzard, when they were both two companies, were. They were like, you have Microsoft, who's like the first party, they own the system, they also make games, but then you have Activision, who puts out really good games for all of the systems, and they're like a AAA publisher. Same goes for Blizzard. And now it's like, okay, Microsoft owns, or potentially will own, two of the biggest third-party publishers, and like they're also the first part. Like, it just, there's it's all about competition, and we're getting rid of all the competition.
Yeah, we're dwindling down to just 1 versus 2, and it's just.
But
it's not good for gamers as a whole.
No,
because these exclusivity deals are just brutal. I mean, I am thankful that at least being a PC player, that I have access to more
PC Master Race.
We have access to more games than console players, but I definitely feel for the PlayStation, the sole PlayStation players, or the Microsoft players. It's like I feel for you, because it just sucks to not have access to these great games.
Yeah.
And it kills me that Starfield, which is going to be one of the biggest releases in years
since Skyrim.
Yeah, it feels like it definitely has those vibes.
It does.
But it's just, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. Just that so many people are not going to have access to this game when it comes out. And
right.
I feel that also sucks for the developers. They want. I'm sure they want as many people to play this game as possible. And see the work,
Didn't you see, or did you see that the article? It was from not Todd Howard, but one of the other top guys at Bethesda, where he in like an internal email that somehow got leaked, however that happens, talked about how he was confused that Starfield was going to be Microsoft exclusive because during like the acquisition of one, I don't think they told Bethesda when they acquired him that it would be exclusive, and then it turned out to be exclusive, and then there was the whole thing with like Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, how Call of Duty wouldn't be exclusive to Microsoft, it would still come out for PlayStation, and it was like even internally they were like, why are they saying one thing and then doing the other?
Yeah, actually, I think with the whole leak thing, that came out because of the whole FTC.
Yes, that was
like,
thing. Yep.
And it was just part of like the discovery or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of shocking. Like, it's like you're going into this acquisition, like saying that thinking that your game's going to be available to everybody, and then they're like, oh yeah, about that. So
after you're already done building it, like,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
listen.
It's like because Todd Howard said that this game has been not in development, but it's been an idea for like decades.
Yeah,
quite
a while.
Yeah. So and it's been a while since it's been like 10 years almost since Fallout 4 came out.
9 years. I think it was 2014.
Okay. And it just feels like it's been so long since we had. I mean, I still play Skyrim. I still play Fallout. So
same.
It holds me over, but I'm ready to dedicate the next decade of my life to Starfield.
Yes.
So
100%.
Not that I'm buying into the hype or anything.
No, of course not.
Not
at all.
No.
I am literally. I think what you said earlier, when I was joking, like the biggest release since Skyrim, it was a joke, but at the same time, like you said, it does feel like this is on that scale. Like,
and maybe it is because it's been so long since the last one since the last big Bethesda. I mean, I think the last big one that Bethesda had was Fallout 76, which we all know how that went.
Yeah, which I've heard that's made strides, like kind of like how Cyberpunk did. Like it got better.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely got better, but everybody only remembers the launch.
Right, exactly, and that's always what that's what happened with Cyberpunk too. I did see an article that was like games that got a bad rap and like that weren't as bad as like you thought they are, and I always feel that way about Cyberpunk because everyone thinks about the launch. I guess I was super lucky in the fact that I didn't have any bugs or when I played, or I didn't have any game breaking bugs, and I still thought it was like so much fun. And I think that that was the same thing with Fallout 76. I think the other thing too is like you have to pay extra to play single player, like in that game. Otherwise it's like, open world, because I bought it when it was on sale. I tried to play it for a little bit, and it's just like, it's just one of those things that just doesn't feel like a Fallout game to me. And maybe I haven't given it enough time, but like it's just initial reaction. The first like 4 or 5 hours I played, I was like, this just doesn't feel like I want Fallout to feel. And that's very selfish, I get that, but that's how I enjoy games, right? Like everyone's is
well,
subjective.
I mean, it's also because it's like Bethesda isn't exactly a big online like MMO RPG, with the exception of like Elder Scrolls
Online. They did, I feel like that one, as someone who played so many hours of World of Warcraft, if I had never played that, I probably would have enjoyed ESO so much more than I did, which I enjoyed the hell out of it for the time that I played it. I thought it was great. Like, I thought they executed very well, but it was like, it's that WoW bias of like, this is what I expect an MMO to do, playing in the golden era of World of Warcraft, and it doesn't do those things, but also I had unreasonable expectations that it should be able to do those things.
Right,
where it's like, no, this is like Skyrim Online, more or less.
Yeah, basically. And I can echo the same sentiments about it. It's like I didn't play ESO like Elder Scrolls Online too much, but what I did play, it really came down to just that, it's a lot harder as an adult to play MMORPG, any MMO, like World of Warcraft or like Final Fantasy 14 or Elder Scrolls. It's just really hard to find the time to like commit to it, because it's grindy. It's a little grindy, right?
It's grindy, and a lot of the content requires you to play with other people.
Yeah, that too.
And like, because it's like I can find time to do the grinding and do some of that, where as long as I'm not relying on other people. But as soon as you're trying to do raids and you have to be on like a schedule, it's like I can't really fit my life around that schedule.
And there's nothing harder than trying to, as a D&D player, there's nothing more difficult than trying to coordinate a time for 5, 6, 7 adults to get together to do anything.
Yes.
So I feel that, but
I also wanted to point out too that like Elder Scrolls Online, because that would have been another game that really would have benefited from having crossplay, because I know we have a friend that played it quite a bit, and like he plays on, I think, the Xbox, right? That was what he mostly played on. I would have I think I would have enjoyed the game more if I would have been able to play with him. Right. Because then you're playing, I think that's what makes MMOs and a lot of games more enjoyable, depending on the game, is when you can play with people I know, like, you look online and like people made friends in World of Warcraft, and yeah, that's like cool, but like for me, I always liked playing with people that I already knew and shared interests with, and then it's immediately more fun.
No, totally agree. It's just, that was kind of like, I actually thankfully had an Xbox at the time, but I think it was 360. But was it a 3? I don't even know.
I think it was the one.
The one, it may have been the one.
And PS4.
Yeah, so we played a little bit, and it was like, that was my motivation to play, was like to play with my friends, Right. So, but you know what? There are some people that just like dive into it by themselves and just like are just like the social butterfly. They just people just gravitate towards them. They just pick up friends here and there, and then you make friends like through that way. But
that's not me.
Crossplay.
But yeah, there is people.
That is not me either. Crossplay. Okay, so because we're like a half hour into this and we barely talked about Starfield, and we really want to talk about Starfield.
Me too. I've been like trying to find ways. I mean, it's always good to like, I feel like we touched on some really cool like games and topics.
Yeah, that actually wasn't planning on that. So but we'll roll with it. But I do want to talk a little bit.
We are professionals here, people.
Yeah, we know exactly what we're doing. With Starfield, I mean, it's straight single player, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, there's no multiplayer yet. I'm hoping that at some point they might like do something to just like even interact with other players. Maybe not like in game, but I more than anything, I would love to have like something built like Starfield, like setting, but then be able to do it with my friends. You know?
Yes. Like, even it doesn't have to be MMO style, but even if it was something more like not quite Destiny, but kind of like that, where you can, invite friends to a party, and then like either 2 to 4 players can do Starfield stuff.
Yeah.
That would be,
but that I think that's a big ask, and I don't think that's coming anytime soon. I mean, I don't even know if there's any like hint of an idea of an inspiration to do anything about like that with Starfield, but
I doubt it.
Yeah,
as much as
I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah,
but yeah, with Starfield, so obviously we're very very excited for it. Like
no,
and but you did Tommy John.
Who?
But Tommy, you shared an article with me the other day about the length of the game, and I was a little surprised, but not really. Basically, the whole premise of the article is that they said it's going to, what did you say, about 30 to 40 hours for the main storyline?
Yes, so Howard suggests that the main storyline would be 30 to 40 hours long. If this ends up being true, then it's not much longer than Skyrim, which takes roughly 30 to 40 hours. And so this article also says Fallout 4 is 25 to 30 hours long, which, like, I get that it's like that's mostly talking if you're doing, I think it's like most of the main quests straight through without really doing much other thing, like many other things, which is like, okay, that's fine. That's definitely not how I play these games. Right. So I don't think, like, when they say Fallout 4 is 25 to 30 hours long, I'm pretty sure I have 125 to 130 hours in that game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, everybody's like focusing on this 30 to 40 hours for the main storyline. It's like, I've only this is my guilty, my sin.
Your bad
is that yeah, not even a bad take. It's just that I've only properly beaten Skyrim once. But I have like 10 different characters that I've spent like 100 hours each on.
And how many of them are stealth archers?
Yeah, right. It's so hard to not just fall into it. It's just,
I know. It's either the only way I can get out of that is just doing magic. If I'm doing straight magic, I can avoid stealth archer. I'm stealth mage, but I can avoid using a bow.
Yeah, instead of a bow, I'm using a magic bow.
Right. But yeah, like it's interesting you say that. Like beating Skyrim, I maybe have done it twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I
have hundreds of hours in the game.
Yeah.
Same with Fallout. It's the same with Fallout for me too.
Yeah,
Fallout
for 4. Sure. And Fallout 4 has like 4 different endings, and I think I've only done 2 of them. And because like there's multiple different factions. Spoiler alert: if you haven't played Fallout 4 in the last 9 years, there are 4 different factions that you can side with, and each of them has their own specific ending. And I've only done 2 of them. And like with Skyrim though, I don't know if this is the same for you. Like, yeah, I have a billion different characters because I try and like do things, like do stuff I haven't done on another character. Because like for some reason, when I beat the game, like a game like Skyrim, it's hard for me to go back onto that character and then do the other things I haven't done. It's like I feel the need to start a different character in a different play style and then go about the game like where I went right at the beginning of the game and my first character, I'm gonna go left, and then I do things that way, and I experience those things that way. It's like that's how I always like what I end up doing. Or in Fallout 4, it's like this character is dedicated to this whole building of encampments, so that I don't have to do that on any of the other characters because I hated doing that once I did it the first time.
I love building in Fallout. I build so much in Fallout.
Nope, that was not a thing that did it for me. I did it on the first character that I beat because I was like, okay, this is part of the story. And then they just kept bugging me. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing it, and then I'm never doing it again.
Tommy, another settlement needs your help.
Oh, yeah. No. That settlement can be taken by raiders.
But I'm curious to see how, because there is settlement. Well, from what I've understood for Starfield, there is, to an extent, base building.
Yes.
I think it's probably a little bit more modular as opposed to like straight up like fully customizable bases.
Yeah.
Same with the shipbuilding too, where you kind of like you have a lot of options, but for the most part, it's all just like, stick thing A to thing B, and kind of like a Lego or something. But I'm still very excited for that, just being able to like create your own starship.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and I feel bad for No Man's Sky because I feel like this is gonna be a No Man's Sky killer to an extent.
Yeah, and that one had been really like kind of making a comeback and like getting, because that was another game.
It's fully back because I've been playing it as well, and it's a great game right now. It has so much content. But again, it's plagued by that stigma from that bad launch.
Yeah.
I think the great thing about No Man's Sky is that they don't charge. Like everything's free. Like the game, you still pay the $50-$60 for the game, but everything within the game is free. All the expansions, all the DLCs. Not that they're really like expansions; they're more just like, this is the new project.
Bonus content.
Yeah, bonus content basically. But go ahead. You were gonna say.
Yeah, I was just say with like the base building in Starfield, I am curious to see, because I know that was a big like love it or hate it thing from Fallout, right? Like I said, because like we're perfect. You loved it, I hated it. Like it was, and I think it was very polarizing, I guess is the word. But like, I'm curious to see how, like, in what way base building is utilized in Starfield. Is it going to be like Fallout, where it's like, I mean, I know like you're not really. It doesn't seem like it was in Fallout, where it's like, here's a like beginnings of a base and it's being attacked by raiders, you need to go save it. It seems like you land on a planet and you can build a base there. And maybe it showed this in the trailer and I just don't remember it, but like to what does that help you do by building a base there? Like I would assume you could fast travel to it so you can get to that quicker, but is there like what other thing? Is there like resource production maybe?
I think I'm trying to remember from the Direct, the Starfield Direct video. I believe it's like it gives you a place for your companions that you pick up.
Oh, yeah.
And I do believe there's resource gathering.
Yeah.
Like things that, like shop, like a workshop, things like that you can put in, and like plants, like for like, sustenance and items and all that stuff. I'd have to go back and watch it because it's been
I need to watch it again too.
But because it's amazing. But I do believe that there is like an actual purpose for it, other than just like giving you a hub to like fast travel to.
Right.
But, so we'll see. I still think they've shown a lot, but I still feel like there's a lot that we don't know about. Like maybe, like
I hope so.
Like same. Gosh, don't be bad, please. Don't be bad.
Well, I know, right? Well, and like, honestly too, don't suck at launch. Like, that's really.
I mean, I can deal with like the, but it's Bethesda. They always have bugs, at launch.
Right. Yeah.
I can deal with those. Just
Bethesda.
Don't be game breaking. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just
go ahead.
What? Oh no! I just like I just really want. I just want it to be a good. I just want. I didn't play Hogwarts Legacy, so I haven't played that game in a while. Well, I'll take it back. The fighting games are actually launched pretty well.
Yeah.
But like as far as like an RPG though, like a proper like good RPG, even though this is kind of like a first person shooter / RPG kind of game, it just. They never launch well. Like games now, just more often than not, do not launch well. So I just for as long as they've been working on it, I hope to God that it's in
good.
a playable state.
Yeah.
Apparently Todd Howard's already been playing it. I saw somebody said that he, like, his online gamer tag says, like, Todd Howard is playing Starfield.
I also just saw an article recently it was someone on Twitter that works at Bethesda on their Twitter account. People were asking about Starfield details. I guess the entire company has an NDA on Starfield. The only person in Bethesda who's allowed to talk about Starfield other than what's already been released is Todd Howard.
Yeah,
like, he's the only one that can give any new details, which I find, like, I mean, it's kind of impressive that really we haven't seen too many leaks, like, or any of the leaks that we'd seen in the last, since we heard about it.
Yeah,
have
everything
not been
that's
really
come out.
substantial. It's just like pictures or like small ideas, like nothing crazy.
Yeah,
but what I was
everything is okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what I was wanting to get at was, like, Starfield feels like a game that is so ripe for good DLC. Like, every Bethesda game since, I mean, Morrowind has had DLC. Like, Morrowind had Tribunal and I'm blanking on the other one. There were 2 DLCs for Morrowind, and then Oblivion had Horse Armor, the best DLC ever, and then Mage's Tower. I mean, it had DLC. Fallout did. So
Fallout,
like,
Skyrim,
there's gonna be DLC for this, and like, you have literally the entire galaxy to make cool DLC. Like, you could have multiple games in this game if you wanted.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm also excited for.
Yeah. And then throwing in the modding community.
Oh my
on top
God.
of
Yeah.
all that. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
At least I hope so. Like I said.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I know. It's just like I keep like getting like hyping myself up, like, and getting like super excited, and I like have to like tell myself, it's like, don't
Yeah, don't set your expectations so high. Yeah,
it's like, I don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah, I think too, like, what's been really hard for us, for all of our viewer, is every episode
we love Steve.
Yeah, love you, Steve. We want to talk about Starfield every time, but we don't want this to be a Starfield podcast because we're so excited for Starfield.
But it's probably going to be a little Starfieldy once it actually gets closer to release.
Yeah, because I assume we're going to get a little bit more nuggets here and there as we get closer to release. Maybe another video. I'm hoping sometime in August, like one more video of like, here's some other cool stuff.
It's like, all right, guys, this is it. Pre-order now. Which don't pre-order. Tommy, you pre-ordered, didn't you?
I got it for free.
Oh, that's right. That is technically okay because you got it for free.
Yep, so, I bought a new video card and that gave it to me for free.
Which that kind of blows my mind. That's a really cool deal. And
normally you don't. I guess I should say, I think Far Cry, like the last couple, those have been. Because I was trying to think of like, when have you been able to buy new gear and get a new or upcoming video game? Because normally you get like, you get games that have already been out, or like popular game that's
right, like
only a year or two old or something. But I do think they did this with Far Cry, and I think they've done it before. But yeah, I feel
just like with the gravitas of Starfield, it's like crazy to me that they would offer that like that. Like if you gave me like a lower tier game, like even just like an indie game even would be cool. But no, you're getting Starfield, and
I'm getting Starfield like depending on what piece of gear you bought from AMD. They were tiered. There were like 2 tiers. So it's like if you bought something from the lower tier, you just got regular Starfield Digital Edition. But if you bought any of these from the second tier, you get the Digital Deluxe Edition. So like
Is that the early access?
That's the early access one, which I keep checking my coupon. Like I have it in my AMD rewards, but the code's not out yet. And so I'm hoping that I still get it the code early enough to get it early, because otherwise I'll probably get it on release date, which I will be first world sad about, because I want it early. I want to play this game yesterday.
I want to play this game, yeah. So I feel I'm envious of you, but But yeah, that's awesome. That whole promotion just blows my mind that they would actually do that. So that's really cool. Not to say that I'm not benefiting off of that, because I'm getting your I'm getting your old video card. Your old card, and which is way better than the current card I'm running. Which the fact that my computer hasn't blown up yet is like a miracle. It feels like sometimes, but perfect timing. You know, it works out well. I get a new card that's going to be like able to handle Starfield, and you get Starfield for free.
Yeah,
because you bought a card.
Yeah.
So moving forward, you know, we're kind of winding down here, but just to kind of give you an idea, we typically wanted to have a little bit more structure. This one kind of got out of our hands, in that we just more of a stream of consciousness episode. But we do intend to have like actual like structured content, and things we're going to be talking about. But sometimes this is going to happen because it's just so easy to just follow up on a subject. Like I did not in my notes have anything about fighting games today, and yet we spent like 20 minutes talking about fighting games. So for those of you out there who love fighting games, you're welcome. For those of you who don't like fighting games, I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. But you know, like I said, this we are not professionals by any means whatsoever, like in any way, shape, or form. So just want to keep your expectations low.
That way, when we do well,
we can only like surprise you.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna like as of course Starfield gets a little closer. We're probably gonna talk a little bit more about that. And of
especially
course once it actually drops,
week.
So you can look forward to that. But for the most part, there's a lot of cool games that are coming out. We didn't get a chance to talk about a lot of them. Or any of them.
I do want to do one segment that I don't think we did last time, but I do want it to be something that we do, if not every time, every now and then. The game that we have to come up with a cool name for this segment, because we stole it from Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force with his football picks. The Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week. But the idea of this segment is, you know, Nate and I have played lots of video games. We played a lot of video games that the other one hasn't played. So this is to kind of bring attention to a game that we think the other one should play. It was a good game, and it's, you know, maybe not heard about or not as big, not a AAA game, maybe an indie game or whatever. So Nate, my insert segment name here is, have you ever played the Trine series?
No.
Ah, there you go.
So, but I do know of it. I do know people that have played it and loved it. It was one of those games that's just on the list.
Yes.
Of games to play.
It was
the ever-changing list.
You're right. So there are, I think, 4 of them right now. I think a 5th one's coming out this year too.
That's it. Okay.
It is so much fun. It's a side-scrolling puzzle. My wife and I played it. I didn't know she would like it, and we both fell in love with that game, and we have beaten all 4 of them so far. So it is, I mean, you can play it single player too, because you can rotate through the characters, but I mean, you can play it local co-op too. It is so much more enjoyable than I initially thought it was going to be. And that is my recommendation.
Of the century of the week.
Of the century of the week of the day.
We'll figure something out on that.
Yeah, we got it.
It's on Steam. It's on Steam, right?
All of them are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it's on Xbox too, but
I don't have an Xbox, so
it's on PlayStation.
So miss me with that.
P-Station. Yeah, miss me.
The Play S.
Yeah.
The
Game Station.
The Game Station. So yeah, I have heard good things, so I definitely will have to try to check that out, and maybe we can devote some time to that at a later date, and I can kind of give you my opinion on how it is, or at least how I think of it. But yeah, no,
how wrong I am.
Yeah, Tommy, it's like, this game is awful. What are you talking about? Can't even get past the loading screen. But okay, so yeah, like I said, that's basically what we want to be doing. Yeah, we are going to try to do we're do our locks, the games that we don't know, the other one might not know about, our bad takes. We have plenty of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Chock full of them.
Yeah, I'm just a grumpy old man, so I hate everything. We'll talk about like remasters and remakes, things that we want to see remade or remastered, or even just talking about ones that have just been recently released. There's actually a lot that have been released like fairly recently, like Last of Us and
Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster.
Yeah, the Pixel Remaster. We could talk about that a little bit.
We could dedicate a whole episode just Final Fantasy.
Yeah, which we might.
There might be. Yeah.
Maybe not intentionally, but we probably will.
Yeah. We also would like to hear what you guys like. If there's any games that we haven't talked about that you guys hear too, like
yeah, for sure.
That would be
awesome. We definitely
want to try out and talk about them.
We want to hear your input as well. So be sure to throw some comments on the video. But
like, comment, subscribe, hit
that
bell.
Smash that subscribe button. Yeah, it's hey everybody, it's your boy. Tommy, I'm gonna put you in charge of like the thumbnail where you have to make that stupid ass face. That all like.
Oh, you mean my normal face? Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, cool. Well, you're on that. But so that's where we're gonna wrap it up for the day. We hope you enjoyed listening to us rant and rave about video games. Starfield, basically, yeah. Well, we didn't rant about Starfield. We pined over it. We fawned over it. We hoped. That's the big word. That's the one big word for Starfield. Is hope. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I just don't want to be disappointed again.
No.
Not with something so good. But anyway, we are the 8-Bit Upstarts. My name is Nate.
I'm Tommy.
And we will catch you on the flip side, everybody.
We out.